like the original question. I think those are the top two goals.
To be healthy.
To be healthy, be rich, or have a monetary status, wealthy.
To be well off.
What's the third? What do you think the third would be?
Have a family.
You think so?
Mm-hmm. I would say so.
Whose goal is that?
Health, family is your goal.
Okay. Maybe 2022, but...
yeah, just push it back every year, right?
You've been pushing it back for 11 years, so... No, I think that too. I think I am a strong believer in feeling that I think that everyone is set on this earth. You can't walk this earth alone. Everybody has a partner. Everybody has a soulmate. Some people have multiple soulmates, and that's cool too. I mean, there's somebody...
I personally don't believe that. I think there's one.
There is somebody out there...
People might mess it up with their soulmate.
Maybe. Or they might be dating people or marrying people. Or it might be the wrong
time, or they weren't ready for it when you came.
But I do believe that we're not meant to do this journey alone. Some are lucky to find theirs early on in life, some later. But we all need each other, you know?
Yeah.
That doesn't necessarily mean like a family, but I feel like, you know, I don't know where I was going with that, but...
Life is boring without family drama, right?
Look, and that phone rings and it's Savannah. I'm just kidding. Cue family member call. No.
Call from the audience. Oh, damn, we don't have audience. It's just us.
Not yet. But, yeah, are we going to talk about, like, what you have to do to achieve that goal? Like, what mindset? Like, how do you I have a hard time with goals, so,
yeah.
How do you plan your goals, set your goals, and make them happen?
Well, they've always talked about, like, short-term goals. So you have goals for the day. You have goals for 6 months. You have goals for a year, 5 years, 10 years. Right?
Okay.
So your long-term goal, you put the most ridiculous thing up there that you can think of. Like, I'm going to own a jet. Or
why is that ridiculous?
Why is it ridiculous? Because it's like, from where you're at now, it's like 5 million times higher than where you're at now.
Okay.
So it's like a ridiculous thing. I'm going to own a jet that's $50 million.
Okay.
Or a yacht that's 100 million.
Or just
a yacht with a helicopter that's like 300 million.
Or just like a long-term goal.
Yeah, it's just a
not
long-term
something
goal.
Excuse me, that you're going to achieve tomorrow.
Right.
Because you have to work your way up to that. Okay, so in the morning, do you wake up and you write your goals down, or
no? I'm not.
What do you do?
I'm not an affirmation person. You know, I have a general goal of what I want to get done that day. But if I don't get it done, you know, you have to live life too. So you can move it on to the next day. Of course, you
don't want to keep doing that.
You don't want to procrastinate it forever.
Right.
But especially when you're coming up with content where you're creating something, or you're designing something, or you're writing, you know, those words just don't come, you know,
easy.
Those are habitual things. Like, you have to build those up in habits. Yeah. So that's what I've made. I've made getting up early every day my habit.
What time? I mean, it's early, like 3:30.
4:15.
Okay, yeah.
It's 4:15 now. When I was still in medical school, it was 3:30. I would wake up, and then I would be on the treadmill from 4 to 5, and I would study from 5:30 to when I went to work. You know, so that's like the short-term daily goals. You have like a task that you want to get done that day, and you try to get it done. You know, you don't want to continue to push it off. But I just posted a TikTok talking about, so you're working a daily job and you come up with this great idea in the middle of a shift. You know, what can you do, you know, to make sure you don't forget that goal, that thought, right? So what I do is I use what's called Google Docs. So then I can actually literally hit the little speaker in my phone and actually talk my thought into Google Docs, and the Apple iPhone will translate it into Google Docs, and then it'll be there when my shift's over, at 3:30 or whatever. So
that's cool.
Yeah, I mean, it helps you come back to the idea, and even with that, sometimes your inspiration for that is gone. So you'll get back to the topic, and you'll be like, you won't even know
why you wrote it down.
But it does help. 90% of the time, you'll be able to come back to it and continue the thought process. Afterwards.
For sure.
Which is pretty cool. So that's something you can definitely take from this first podcast.
Mm-hmm. What? I'm sorry.
Caught her not paying attention again.
I was paying attention, but can you do like a short little recap?
All right, so if you're at work and you somehow get a thought about an idea or
the Google Doc app or
video.
I mean, you could write it down, send a text to a friend that you trust, or
so that's Meredith's go-to,
or significant other, because I trust him.
Just to just text me.
Yeah, or I text him, or if I have a really good idea, I'll text him and I'll be like, "Don't let me forget this later," and then whether or not we remember later or not, but we try to make that work. And also bounce ideas off of a really good friend of mine, Angelo, who's also really smart. And he'll tell me, 99% of the time my idea is not stupid. So, that's kind of what I do. I'm trying to get into the habit of writing things down, maybe like daily, but, baby steps, but